Yeah, a band that's unknown, unnamed, never heard of, just blind listen, to be at that same caliber of like, you know, great music is like, to me it's more impressive, honestly. It's more impressive to have a band like this that's, you know, underground, not as well known.
Yeah. Today we're going to be covering a full album review of a newer band to me, and they are the Backseat Lovers. So from what I understand, it's a blind listen for you.
Yeah.
This time around, we're going to be covering their album. The first album that they have is When We Were Friends. So they have their first song, according to Apple Music, in 2018 as a single. But this is their first album. A newer band to me. One of the things I always like to do when I find a new artist or band or group is find out like if they have a bigger following or not, because I'm interested to see like, man,
How popular are
yeah, how popular are they and how long have I missed out on them? You know what I mean? Like tons of people probably know this band and then I just barely came around to them or not. They are relatively big in the indie kind of alternative rock music world. It says they have millions of monthly listeners on Spotify. So, you know, they're definitely not underground.
Not a niche, right?
Yeah, group. They've already had a couple of tours and festivals that they've been a part of. So definitely they're known. But yeah, for me, newer discovery. But from what I've heard from this first album, really enjoyed just the album altogether, and have, I think, almost every song other than one saved on my personal listening over it. So yeah, let's get into it.
So every song except for one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And how many total songs is it?
9 songs.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that's 8 out of 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 songs in a row, or even in
Yeah.
general, though, is a that's. I think I had the similar realization. I think with AWOL Nation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think there's like more than 9 songs there, but
Yeah.
you know, for me, it's like if I can because I'm so picky.
Yeah.
You know, and when I really like a whole project, it is kind of rare.
Yeah.
But whenever you find a new project that you just love front to back, it's like, yeah, like you said, how long have I been missing this? You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously we review the Strokes, and that's one of the bands that I felt like.
Right.
You know, I feel like I rediscovered or really listened to for the first time.
Yeah.
And same thing, it's like, you know, how long have I missed out on this? So
Yeah.
I'm very, very fascinated and interested in listening to new music. So
Yeah.
I don't even know what genre. I'm guessing it's rock.
Yeah.
And I'll
rock.
Okay, so indie rock.
Alternative. Yeah.
Alternative. I don't want to know when it was made or not. I kind of want to just go into it, jump into that sound.
Yeah. And I guess just to like preface, I think you'll enjoy them.
Okay.
They have really great vocals and instrumentals, but because I don't know, you have a good like discography as far as different genres, but I don't know if this is one that you would have like pulled right off the bat, you know. So that's why I'm interested to bring this to you to see what you think as far as like the genre altogether, maybe, or at least what sound that the Backseat Lovers bring. So yeah,
That was a nice explanation of, I have a lot of different music. Shuffle is pretty chaotic on my phone, but yeah, I guess that's a compliment, that there's a lot of different sounds, a lot of different styles.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I think about this too is like, you know, we'll see what my response is at the end. Obviously, we can even cut this and make it kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
But you know, going into this, I'm really excited. I'm really hyped for it.
Yeah.
And again, what you're kind of saying is like, you know, this is a band, you know, maybe after 20 years of me discovering, I would have heard them by some point.
Yeah.
But thinking of that, it's like, you know, how crazy the algorithm is that like, you know, you'll get one band and it's like, dude, I love these guys, and there's only 3,000 listeners per month, or like there's only like 500,000 or whatever, like not that popular.
Right.
But anyway, so it's like, you know, it's you're exposing me to that, so that's pretty cool. I'm kind of like jumping into like your vault.
Yeah.
Because that's how I think of music for me personally. You know, my library of music, although it's not as much, physically,
Yeah.
physical type of library music.
Right.
It's a lot of it digitally, right? That's kind of how I view it. Is like, this is my vault that I'm opening.
Yeah.
So very interested to jump into your world for this too. So, Backseat Lovers.
Yes.
And what's the album called?
The album is called When We Were Friends.
I'm gonna start off 50% on the Crusher. We're gonna go neutral on it. I wanna experience it.
Yeah.
And go up from there.
All right. The first track is called Watch Your Mouth.
This is a slow build.
Do you think I care about your new job and your new hair? Do you think I cry about your new friends and your new guy? Well, I do.
I love the acoustic feel. It's so pure.
And I like the layering of the acoustic and then the electric coming right over it.
Across the table, watch it fall into the ground.
Almost
Keep your
percussive
distance, she's unstable.
with the
It really gives me that like
Bite
two
your
note
tongue
band.
and watch your mouth.
Wow. That guitar just feels older than its time too.
just mellows back.
I have yet to be bored on this song, so that is a good thing for the attention span. Changes up a lot.
All your records at your mother's place.
I even like that single note in the background of the electric guitar. It just adds more depth to the overall sound
At
of the
least
song.
your Instagram is up to date.
That's a bar.
Better check your facts before you flip the page. Wait
Oh, nice. Just brings it all down.
Yeah.
in line, 'cause you're not alone.
It feels very intimate, very, close.
Yeah,
Like a live
very
concert.
the vocals are very upfront, so there's not a lot
But
to
you
hide behind.
never take your time. All you do is scratch and bite. Was I just a waste of time?
Oh man, that's the voice.
Take my throw it wild. Take
I'm really curious because the lyrics ended at 1:14. Pretty cool.
Really good blend and partnership between the acoustic and electric guitar, which is really nice.
I feel like this guitar solo has its own character, like it has its own backstory. It's very soulful.
I think it's cool to hear the vocal copying the guitar riff as well.
Do you want me to go first?
Go for it.
Okay. What I was just thinking as the song was wrapping up,
Yeah.
I couldn't have told you how the song started. Like, it felt like I heard 5 songs in one.
Yeah.
All the change ups, there's a lot of, different voice styles in that song. Very captivating the entire time. I'm kind of really going for a ride, I don't know where this plane is landing, but it was like a, very fun ride. And, from the beginning, I think the intro part is like, it felt, kind of like 90s unplugged, kind of had that, I guess, Nirvana style. And it turned into more of like, kind of like more of the emo, like, punk rock bands that I know, kind of building up. And then it just, just goes to a curtain close, and it's, them, like I said, it feels very intimate. And even the way they're strumming too, you're going to know what that is. Yeah. It just feels like they're holding all of them down. Yeah. Just like, it's like so subtle. And, wow, so many different, everyone has like really good parts on there, and like the vocals are really nice, the guitar is really nice, and like even the drums pace through. It's like there's so much to just one song. That's definitely one that's like I gotta listen back to it a couple times to really catch everything. Crazy. And the lyrics are cool too. I was really following along. They're really fun. Very soulful, very like, the song had character, kind of like what an introduction. Crazy song. Yeah,
and I think that's something you'll definitely see throughout the album. It's definitely worth like keeping track of that. But I just think it's like very impressive to see the blend. Yeah, like you said, of everybody's part coming together. But I really enjoyed the blend of acoustic and the electric between, even on the intro, how it had that dun dun, which I could show, but how it layered. It started with the acoustic, and then it layers with the electric, or even like in the middle of the song when it's playing riffs and it's kind of going back and forth between the both of them. I just thought that was like a really good like dynamic between the both.
Yeah, and I think that last portion where he really just kind of lets it go and kind of has more of a higher voice, almost somewhat screaming type of voice is like, hopefully there's more of that. I bet there's more in the album like that, because that with all the guitars kind of going up is like, you're really hitting the dial right there. Your fingers on the pulse there, because that's that feels like a grand song to me. A really big song. Like you said, so many people don't even know about this band. I don't know about this band yet. But track 1 I'm already in.
Yeah, I know. And like even looking at, I looked into just like the intro. And very captivating. That's what at least got me. This is the first track I heard. But just the simplicity of it, the finger style and everything, the picking is super simple. And it goes it's kind of like this.
Yeah, very laid back. Like just adding some static.
Yeah.
And a quick little drum, and then you got the lo-fi. Steady pack right there.
And then just that, what just grabbed me is almost like percussive, was that intro strumming bit where it's the...
Yeah. It's familiar, but it's still unique,
Yeah.
But that's why it feels so kind of, I guess, like I said, so vulnerable,
Yeah.
That's why it gave me that feeling of like grunge rock, It just feels so like, just out in the open type of thing. But the way they even use the sounds, it's like, the acoustic part sounds very acoustic, sounds very dry. And then you have later parts that have that guitar. I don't know what guitar that is in the guitar solo. But it just sounds kind of like a 70s, like Leonard Skinner guitar, or some type of like, whatever that, I don't know what that sound is, but it's really distinctive. And they kind of like play with so many different styles. I think they just threw everything into the pot, like whatever sounded good. That's just one song, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Alrighty, so the next one, next track we have is called Pool House.
This song's called Dugout. Pool House. This song's called Pool House.
That's funny. just get like SpongeBob floating music.
Yeah, nice long, slow slides.
Waiting around for something to change my mood.
It's weird because I get elements of Kuko, I get elements of John Mayer,
Yeah,
I get like, oh man, so many different styles just
yeah.
really, really put together well.
Kids on the lawn, stuck in pairs of two. Your lunch is on its way back up, but you're still in the pool. Wait inside. I'll be fine. I guess I'll sit outside while you change your
He's a very talented vocalist. Very, very talented.
world.
You know what? That little part reminds me of We Had to End It by Kuko.
I'll risk
Yeah.
it all to
I don't know
find
why.
a place where I can hear my thoughts. Songs playing too loud, but upstairs they're still making
There it is.
out.
That grit in the voice is
All
like
choked up. I
perfect.
guess it's just my luck.
Yeah, it's cool to hear the vocals really like control the song.
What am I waiting for? Wait inside. I'll be fine. I guess I'll sit outside while you change your mind.
Mm.
Yeah, that alone, I don't even have to hear anything else. That's a favorite song already. I could tell.
The tone.
You know that feeling when you're hearing a song that you know it's gonna be in rotation for a long time? It's this one. This is a good one. Rest in peace to my Toyota speakers, because you're gonna be hearing a lot of this next month.
Wait inside. I'll be fine. Wait inside.
Very dramatic.
Change your mind, oh honey, you'll change your mind.
Well, it's one of those songs as it was coming to a close. I saw it was like 4 minutes and so many seconds
Yeah.
long. And I was getting sad that there was only like 10 seconds left, you know.
Yeah.
Man, initial thoughts there. What I was doing was I was virtually favoring the song because that's what's going to stay there.
Yeah.
But as I was listening to it, it's like, very few times in life do you hear a song where you're like, this is going to be one, this is a big one.
Yeah.
Because like when you listen to a new song, it's new, it's
Yeah.
fun, it's exciting for the first time. But like when you hear something that like really like,
Yeah.
this one really catches my ear.
Yeah.
This really checked all those boxes, man. This thing over delivered. When everything came together, it was like, oh man, like where have I been missing this song? You know?
Yeah.
Because I already see myself overplaying it. Wow, what a great song. I just need a minute, so I'm curious to see what your what your take is on the even the instruments and stuff, because there's everything was perfect on there, and the guitar was like just him and his vocals is like I said, that type of music, like music that makes you feel something, that has so much grit to it, is like exactly what this is. So amazing song. But we'll go ahead.
Yeah, no, I thought it was, I immediately loved the song when I heard it, and I think it really captivates its title and lyrics. It's called Pool House. And that slide going throughout the guitar, just so mellow, with that like super distant, just floaty kind of tone throughout. And I really liked how, like, in the early stages of the song, how his vocals really dominated and like kind of controlled the song. Like you said, when it got kind of gritty and more power was delivered in his vocals, and then obviously once everything builds between the drums, and then that like heavy guitar tone coming in, and then keeping that like super just very, very unique guitar tone in the background, and then even just how it was building. I really liked how they built it, but in a way that still kept the overall feeling of that like floaty, pool house, kind of theme. So I thought it was really well done altogether.
Yeah, what a great song. And it's like I said, it's kind of like one of those that gives you goosebumps as you're listening to, very talented vocalist, I'm very curious to see more of what he does, but like the open sounds in there, like I think at one point I was like, I drew a connection to We Had to End It by Kuko. It has that similar cool little thing, and that like Hawaiian or whatever that sound is like really cool. But just what an amazing song. That I think most people would listen to that if they were just stopped in their day, they put that on their ears and listen to it. They would say, "Wow, I'm gonna save that." And again, they've never even heard of them. So like, that's why it's like, check in with your local indie band or wherever these guys are. I'm definitely gonna do a deep dive and figure out who these guys are, because like, so far 2 songs in, I'm already like floored.
No, absolutely. And I definitely think like even the lyrics, obviously tying into their theme for
it's
each
well
one.
written.
I think it's
cool.
well written. It's good like narrative throughout, and then obviously the vocalist, which is Joshua Herman, the lead vocals and guitar. Like the power that he has behind his vocals to deliver. I think it makes it more impactful. But definitely a song where like the vocals aren't drawn out. And I like how you mentioned it earlier, where it's intimate at certain parts, where the vocals or just a certain aspect of the song is very front and center, and there's like nothing for it to kind of hide behind. So
it reminds me of like, if you're listening to a band or their early sets where they're playing at like a crappy venue, or like, not in a bad way, but there's something kind of nostalgic about that, like playing in the garage, and it has that sound, that feel. It just feels kind of like a little bit dangerous or something. I don't know. But that's kind of what you feel at some points of this, and I think they do it intentionally because it just feels so like different from everything that's overly polished, overly cleaned up, overly auto-tuned. I like the range of everything, and it feels like real music that you're listening to. So definitely. And then one little cool note is like, the beginning, they're kind of joking around, like they're throwing the name around, and it's like it's a fun little thing. And it's like, songs don't have to be so structure based on like, okay, build up intro, middle, but it's kind of a fun little, almost feels like an interlude or something. And I think it's just it's just like a fun little thing that as a music lover, if it becomes your favorite song, like you repeat those little things, you say those things in your head. So it's like cool little bit to throw in there, and good use of just kind of character. And so far I'm really just kind of falling in love with the band. So.
And then that reference that he makes, he actually references a different title, which you'll hear, a different track that he mixed up. But it definitely gives you a sense of the band altogether, that they're just really enjoying just the music that they're making. It seems like there's a lot of just fun put into it, that they're really enjoying it. So
and like, kind of like I had the, roller coaster, just, ear to ear smile at some point when it just really comes to like a crescendo, when all the guitars are going, all the drums are going, everything's building up. There's probably some strings in there, it feels like, and he's like high vocal is like, just pure joy. So definitely I'm gonna have fun listening to that, and so is everyone else.
Yeah.
Around me.
I know. I felt the same way initially hearing it, and yeah, all throughout, since it's probably been a month that I've kind of sat with them and just listened to the album and kind of just go over like song by song. That yeah, I after, like I said, I have 8 out of 9 songs down. So I was like,
Two for two.
I can't send you all of them. Like we're just gonna do a whole album review.
Yeah, and there's a certain pool of that, and like again, I'm very grateful that you showed me this so far, because like these guys definitely like are very creative, and maybe some of that likes just more of an overly polished punk, or pop type of rock band.
Yeah.
They want to appreciate the cool different things that are going back and forth.
Yeah.
I like to hear those things, and like again, that's why you really need to like have a good listening experience of music, where either it's sound canceling or isolated, because like you can catch all those things that really they feel like if a track goes from here to here, like it really feels like it goes up and go down, and it's really a story that you're kind of going through.
Yeah.
So Skull Candy sponsor us.
For real.
But they really are good headphones, I gotta say.
They
Just
are.
unbiased. Obviously, no one's paid me yet. They're just good headphones.
All right. This is actually one of my favorites.
That's crazy.
This next one going into it, so yeah, it's a fun song. So this next track, this is the 3rd track, and this is called Intuition.
Call it intuition if you must. But you're still driving home at night while he's wiping off your blush.
Look how the acoustic sounds like really full,
Am I losing my mind?
very heavy.
Are you taking your time to get over? To get over? Call it intuition if you want. I'm still at the skate park spilling all.
I feel like it kind of gives them like a Creep Radiohead vibe, but then kind of mixed with more of like a punk rock feel. I don't know.
Pretty much sums it up, the color thing. 'Cause I'm not over. 'Cause I'm not over.
My favorite part.
That's so cool. Speeding up.
Now the paper's out.
That's so cool.
Everybody knows about your little lies. Now the paper's cut me up and
I like that it's not like a very distinct change. It's kind of just like, well, we're gonna change it. We're going faster now.
and your lips are making their way around.
And we go slow again.
And it goes.
They've gone to like the BPM of like Cigarettes After Sex or like Coldplay or something of the old stuff.
Yeah. Like that super light in the background, that tremolo picking.
The little, whatever that guitar
Yeah.
sound or that background sound is kind of like explosions in the sky. They do that a lot. Yeah, that little build is nice.
Call it intuition if you must.
Feels like the mic is so close to the guitar.
You're still
Like it's
driving
right next to the
Yeah.
string.
It's like right
Yeah.
Am
Oh, that's cool.
I losing my mind?
Where is my mind?
Are you taking your time?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that one was a crazy one. That one was like, it started off as like hoobastank,
Yeah.
the music,
Yeah.
and it was kind of slow, it was kind of building, and I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah.
And then it was like it felt so untraditional. The change up, the transition to like speeding up the song was like you know it was coming.
Yeah.
You can feel it coming. You can hear, but it was like it didn't feel so uniform. It didn't
Yeah.
feel so like, okay, now we're gonna do fast.
Right.
You know, and I feel like so many other songs again follow that song structure. That's like, you know, again that was just an experience. You went up, you went down. It went to like even such a slow
Even
BPM
slower
to where it's like,
start.
you know, you're listening to the beach house, you know, slowed and reverb. It was
Yeah,
like all
yeah.
in one song. And
Yeah.
man, the guitar sounds on that, like literally the guitar, the way it sounded, and how like again maybe they even recorded because like you know there's some parts where it's so like up front and close, and you
Yeah.
feel like you're right in front of the guitar strings,
Yeah.
and some parts it's like, you know, kind of building up. And one little key note that I kind of heard throughout there, I don't know if it's a string in the background or you may know about it, but it sounds like a little like
Yeah, that's like it's called mandolin picking.
Yeah.
And it's like a super, you know, it's used in a couple songs, but it's just that super like fast picking in the background. Obviously, they like just put it in like deep within. I don't know how they adjusted the audio for it to sound like, but it's
and it reminds me
super-
of that Mono, that's the band name, Mono, that song that I showed you, or Explosions in the Sky. They have that little like, it's a little faint in the background.
Yeah.
Kind of like a slow cinematic build, and that's what it feels like. And what a cool use of that, you know, like because it's perfectly placed at different times, and it just feels like, you know, that song is all over the place, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You know? That's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah.
And you know, it sounds familiar. It sounds like, you know, I would have heard something like this.
Yeah.
But it's unique. You
Right.
know?
Right.
So that's the cool thing, is that it's like you follow along, you listen to it. It's like similar sounds, and I can see the inspirations. You know, I even kind of felt like, where's my mind?
Yeah.
I felt like Creep, you know, Radiohead at some point. You know, it has all these cool different sounds and I think, you know, ideas, but it's its own unique, you know, kind of masterpiece. Really, really cool. I see why it's your favorite song.
Yeah, for me the highlight was and I don't know the chords exactly, but just that shift with the palm muted strumming as the building, you know, that transition that you know in the background, you know, and obviously
Stacy's mom.
Yeah, and so just having that to build it, and then, you know, like just the technique of like, you know, carrying that and then like occasionally like strumming a little bit in between them. You know, like just like a tiny bit within there, but yeah, just a super fun song. But yeah, another roller coaster, like you said, for it to slow down, you know, even more so than the intro, and just like really like carry you through. But yeah, just a beautiful job, you know, of the guitar to like really captivate that, like just that like you said, that music that makes you feel something, you know, can definitely be attributed to that. But, you know, tons of credit to the vocals, because I mean, just phenomenal for sure. Goosebumps.
Yeah, and I would just say ultimately, like, you know, I would grade these guys high, 10 plus, A plus on creativity. You know, in a world where, you know, there's so many cool different sounds, not only are they messing with the sounds that have, you know, the arrangement, how they put the song together, but like the way they're like, again, changing the song structure, they're putting this first or putting that in, you know. I think they're just really just having fun with it, and it's really, it comes out, you know. It sounds like they were just experimenting, and it really it sounded cohesive. And you know, it reminds me, this kind of reminds me of, like, you know, there's some portions, this is a weird connection, there's some portions of, you know, some rap that I listen to that feels like jazz, right? It doesn't feel like rap. It doesn't have that same structure. It just feels all over the place, but, you know, every fourth bar connects, and it's like, whoa, it's kind of a weird feeling, you know. And this is what it kind of gives me too, is like, you know, kind of not an eclectic sound of rock, but, you know, just a unique arrangement that's like, how refreshing, you know, how creative, and like in a world where there's so much music that sounds the same. I like when I can hear someone really sticking their neck out and doing something different.
Yeah.
And so major points right
I know,
there for me.
and this is a phenomenal band. But I, at least personally, as I've like listened to them and started exploring off, I'm starting to realize, at least because you know the indie kind of genre is new to me, but you know it's definitely clear to me that that's kind of what they're pushing for. You know, like as far as like even chords, you know, as I like kind of look up little parts of the songs, you know, that I just find super interesting. Chords are different, you know, that's what like definitely attributes to those different sounds. You know, it's not the same thing just shifted or changed, but it's definitely super unique altogether. So
yeah, and I think the cool thing so far is like I had 3 songs in, you know, someone that doesn't know too much about instruments, not as much as you do, and it's like I can still appreciate all the different sounds that I'm picking up, and I'm probably picking up only so much of it. You know, you can call these things out, but nonetheless, in the spectrum of people that are listening, like good music is good music. You know? And you know, it's definitely is one of those that I think, you know, again, most people would definitely say, like, you know, let's save this band, let's listen to them, or you know, where's the next concert at? You know?
It's fun. It was worth the.
It looks really cool. That's a cool sound though. That I feel like you can like put that to a lot of like nature scenes, and that's a good little video with some little text at the bottom.
Yeah, I think what sold me was the built-in effects compared to like a normal acoustic. You know, it sounds okay, but once you add like the delay and stuff,
so you can try stuff out quickly.
Yeah. You know, you have delay and chorus and you know all the like basic effects, but so this next track is
it's the star. It's the star also.
Yeah. Of
the album.
This is actually probably, if you heard of these guys, you know, on your own, this is the song you've heard of them. This is like probably one of their biggest songs, or at least their most well-known song.
I don't recognize it based off title alone, so probably not. But
yeah, but at least for majority of people, so at least that's why it would be started as, you know, more popular for sure, definitely from this album.
There's a song that I have to show you that's very similar.
Like that
guitar, the guitar strum. Ah, that's so cool.
It's raining, I suppose you need a ride. She said, I've got nothing to do, neither do you.
Again, that distant guitar tone.
The road where we can waste the whole afternoon. I overheard that she was 19. She's got a fake ID and a nose ring.
I feel like this will kick on. This will really rip on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like this little part.
And I'm dying to figure out what she's hiding. Just playing it cool, but she's lying. Better than I do.
Yeah, his vocals really
has that end of the picking.
Yeah, I see why it's popular.
Yeah.
Very much like carefree indie rock.
Feels like a night to carry a tune.
You know what this feels like? This might be a funny explanation, but this feels like they're like an ADHD genius. Because they have so many good songs, and they're like, this is so good, let's change it.
And then that tone now is like changed. It's like more muddier.
She was 19.
That's the end of the lyrics. We got half the song to go. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Oh, this guitar.
Woo.
Yeah, definitely like but like like the jazz kind of style phrasings.
I love me a good build. I'm a drums guy too, though. Oh my gosh. It's a whole nother song.
Yeah.
And it's a good song too. Oh man. These guys did like the up, down, right, left. They did the Chico. They really just, the song was perfect, man.
The build of the guitars. The little builds in between of the drums is really nice.
You know, this gives me kind of like Paramore vibes. Just a little on the train.
And a harmonica too.
Oh man. Man, I don't know the last time that I felt such a fun experience on a song. And I thought I really liked the number 2 song. That for so far, number 2 was my favorite. Like that, that was like, man, I'm gonna come back to this.
Yeah.
Oh man, this one was such a. I gotta go back to these. I gotta go back to these songs, man. Because like, you know, even at the end, I'm gonna kind of talk about the end because that's what I can kind of like really most connect with. But the laid back kind of chilled sound that made the harmonica, the guitar strumming. It reminds me of Bad Bunny's DTMF. The song that he plays, and I'll put it in here. Where there's parts where he's kind of building up, and he has like this chorus of people that it sounds unprofessional, right? It sounds good though,
jamming,
and it sounds so fun, and it's like what a great, you know, you put that in there very intentionally, and like, you know, there's probably a certain amount of people that like they love the song. That's their favorite part.
Yeah.
And oh man, such a good song. I felt like 3 different songs I listened to there. 3 distinct, nice, great songs I listened to.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of like a little lost for words, man. That's such a good. And I'm very, very rarely speechless on songs. Like I feel like I can point out like what I liked about it or what. I feel like I gotta hear it 3 times before I can really give a good assessment to it. Yeah. There's so much there. How is that not your favorite one? To me,
there's definitely you'll see on I have hearts on almost all of them.
It changes day to day. You know?
Yeah, absolutely, and I can definitely see why that's probably one of their more popular songs. It's fun to listen to and super catchy. You know what I really enjoy about this band is just how their guitarist like has a very unique tone. The licks they create are super fun, and the just everything all behind it, but definitely more like you said, like jazz, the chords and everything behind it, and even how they're being played, you know, obviously play a huge effect to just that quick switch to a different song, you know, altogether. But yeah, and the tone combined with those just super awesome like just guitar licks that I'm definitely gonna have to spend some time working at. But yeah, no, it's just you know, one of those songs that's like like you said, it leaves you speechless. It's just you wouldn't add anything, change anything. But I just think it's cool how well they were able to achieve those like changes like very smoothly, and it just shows like the power that they kind of split off between the different instruments and the control. You know, obviously it switches, and then the build-ups, you know, vary from song to song, whether it's the drums, you know, building up, the guitar, So yeah, I think it's just well done. Even the drums were fun, hearing that same back and forth, and then those little fills in between that he played. It's just incredible.
Metaphorically, I will put it like this: the song is over 4 minutes, right? And at 2 minutes, those lyrics stopped, which I was like,
yeah.
I can't think of many songs where half the song, 50% of it is just instrumental, right? There's instrumental bands that do that, but for an album, for a band that's, very vocal driven, to just say, all right, halfway through, have at it, And, it felt like that. It felt like, so far leading up, again, everyone is hitting, the vocals are just, there's such a range there. It goes from low to high to grit and screaming. Yeah. And the guitar sounds, everything in there, the drums is like, everything is so nice in there. So it's like, it feels kind of like a unleashing moment, And when that song changes, I get flashbacks of like the first time that I've heard a Travis Scott beat switch. And the way he did it to where it was so like, oh, that was so necessary. Right? I didn't know I needed that. I didn't know I needed to go to this song. They're two different songs. Right. And again, this song too is like, wow, what a big change up, but what a beautiful change up. It went from a good song to a great song to a better song. It was like
keeps on going.
Yeah, and it's like, even that first part is like, that alone is good enough, but man, what a crazy song. I got this to like 5 times, I think, to really like say I've heard everything there, but definite save. But again, the experience going through that song is like, it's so electric, like it's so fun. It's one of those things where it's like, it feels like, to me, it feels like I'm going through that story of the song. Wow. that might be my favorite so far. Yeah, that might be my favorite. Just because of the I think emotion that it feels like it brings out of me. I still really love song number 2. What that did there, but what it achieved was really great. Number 1 was such a kick the door in type of thing. But wow, that song is like that's I'm gonna go back to that many times in different points, and I think I'm gonna appreciate it in different at different stages. Like, oh, I really like this part. I really like this part. I'm excited.
I know, for sure. And you'll definitely hear I think I've heard like a unique, I can hear their sound in the guitarist as far as like his licks and like, somewhat like solos, especially throughout some like later tracks. He definitely showcases that. But like, I don't know if I can really pinpoint like the style as far as like the licks that he's playing. It could just be new to me, like this indie, or it's just a unique sound, which I probably believe to them and their guitarist. But I could definitely attribute and pull like different tones, especially like that kind of floaty sound and whatnot. But yeah, just the licks that he's like crafted around it, and fit so like flawlessly within, are definitely really cool and something we'll hear a little bit more throughout.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give my thesis on them just very quickly, but it's like, my idea is like, think about it. This is relatively more newer music, right? If you're creating music today, I'm creating music with experiences like Pink Floyd, Dr. Dre, like Rage Against the Machine, like all these different like things that go into the melting pot. And if you love a Led Zeppelin guitar solo or a Pink Floyd, whatever sound that is, like when you go to create your own music, that's why it feels so familiar. It feels like it's just pulling pieces, the best pieces of each type of different genres of music. Kind of thrown into one in such a fun arrangement. And I think it makes sense. That to me, it's like, if I were to create anything, I have no talent in making music, but if I were to create anything, it's going to be a meld of like, so many different things there, and I think he does it so well. He puts it together so well, and it like, it really flows, and like, that was a great song. Just that song alone is like, that's really, really fun experience, and like, to me, this is why I do it, because it's like, truthfully, to have that, we're for the first time listening to that, never gonna have that again, and having it in such a good environment, I think is so cool.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man,
I'm really excited about these guys. I tell you, man.
This is just the 4th track. Alrighty, going into the 5th one. This song is called Dugout, and this is the The one that was referenced earlier in the second track.
Yeah, the ones that were like, are we playing this one or playing that one?
It was pretty funny. I saw it on like YouTube, and they're like, "Wait, is this song called
Pool House?"
Yeah, they're just making fun of that, you know. But it's fun, you know. It's engaging that people hang on to those little things because it's just it feels fun, you know. It feels like more
organic.
Yeah,
it's real.
Yeah, absolutely. Both in their music all together and just those little behind the scene, you know, little clips and whatnot. So. Yeah, another fantastic song.
Is this Pool House?
Very lo-fi. And it's kind of cool. It kind of blends between like what seems like just a natural recording to like a produced sound behind it. It's just kind of a cool transition.
You probably said something very technical, and I was just thinking like, this is the guy in the bar in the corner, just like getting over a breakup or something. He just like playing with the guitar. I think the lyrics kind of play to that too.
Got me very far. I know that it's wrong, but I don't want to drop the.
You know, I would say on this song though, he sounds kind of like Radiohead for some reason. I don't know why.
I'd rather stay.
Maybe it's an accent. I don't
In
know.
and hide away.
This is my new favorite band. I gotta say, this is my new favorite band. Oh man.
Tide gets strong and wash you out. Take some time to figure it out. 4 long months of grinding teeth. Still don't have the strength to leave.
Yeah, this definitely has that like coming to age, kind of angsty type of like, you know, Midwestern rock type of thing. Midwestern emo type of rock.
Another switch up. But those licks, you know, I think it's like very, very them.
I saw your window at 2 a.m. and your light was still on. I found the letters that you wrote for me, and I couldn't bring myself to
man.
throw them away.
I really like his like screaming voice.
You should get with someone nice that knows what you're thinking, doesn't let it scare him. Yes, I'm changing, but now you're facing your fears.
That little symbol.
Yeah. It's kind of like we were fading away at first.
The guitar. Yeah, the layering really like just builds.
Oh man.
Almost like marching band kind of drums.
Man. This song is fun, but it also reminds me of Fun. The band Fun.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of those where it's like you're putting it up, putting it higher, it's like get all the way up.
Yeah.
I just know this would ultimately like transfer really well live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like to me that just sounds like there's so many good like sounds
Yeah.
that sound so real there. You know,
Yeah.
that guitar doesn't sound distorted. It sounds like you
Yeah.
know like a live recording, and
Yeah.
like I think these guys would even play it up even higher live. But
Yeah.
man, I think the drums were for my favorite part of the song.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean the guitar stuff was great. It's like it's almost like the guitar stuff's so great. It's so awesome each time that it's like it's almost like you almost forget about it because like it's just everything's on cue, everything's on point. His screaming voice was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you know there's like you know just, there's a couple bands that remind me of that type of style where it almost sounds like he's screaming but he's like whispering.
Yeah.
Or he's saying it lowly. You know.
Yeah.
And oh man, it's the change ups on this, the guitar stuff. Like I said, the guitar licks are like, you know, I'm fully bought in. I'm in their sound.
Yeah.
And you know, it feels like I'm going to their concert one song at a time. You know, and I like the way it's recorded. I like the way it sounds. It doesn't sound polished.
Yeah.
It's oh man, it's just a journey.
Yeah.
You know, it's a journey, but. You know, again, there's points of that song where I'm just, you know, I can't fight it. I can't fight the smile. It's just so like there's so much good here that I wouldn't even change. You know, and, oh man, what a great song.
Yeah, I know, absolutely, and like again, that you know guitar tone I think continues through a little bit. We heard from the last song. I'm thinking it's like a Telecaster because it has that kind of like. More powerful crunch kind of dirty tone. I don't know, like I'm almost like at least to my small you know little scale of music, little bit of music that I know as far as like genres, it kind of like almost country to me, like that guitar tone. You know, and those like licks that he was kind of putting down towards the middle of the song. But I think for me the highlight, which I thought was pretty cool as far as like production, was definitely the intro, because it was pretty cool hearing what seemed like you heard it, like you said, in the garage, just out back, and you're like, oh, I gotta hear these guys. You put a voice memo, and your phone is recording, and it's like that, and then it's transitioning into like a produced part for that first beginning bit. I thought that was really cool, like as like you get to hear the blend of like that like low grade audio, you know, you just kind of hear them in the background to like slowly getting back into like a real song, you know.
I love it because it like when it first started, I'm like, you know, just cue the lyrics or cue some dramatic words behind us, because like that could be played over like 10,000 memes, you know, for like a dramatic effect, you know. And it's like because it has that feel, it has that like again, it's like it's a real aspect, you know. It's like that sounds like something you would hear in the background, you know. And it's like I don't know, what a cool little touch to put on the overall masterpiece of a song. And man, it's just this is definitely a you know journey that you're jumping into, and it's like, you know, it reminds me of the first time listening to Roar or those type of bands where, you know, it's not like one thing you can pinpoint. I can't say like, man, these guys really just you know made this sound and just killed it, you know. The Strokes, right? The Strokes to me like made a sound and killed it, and like took it to the highest level. You know, there's other bands that have that, or rap artists, and to me this is just like, the more I listen to them, the less I know exactly what genre they are. And the more I love that. You know, the more I love the openness of like, you know, hey, this song we're gonna play these sounds, we're gonna do this, we're gonna have this. But I've yet to hear a point where I felt bored. I want to like skip through, or I'm like, I'm not a fan. Like, it's so exploratory that's like, you know, very rarely you can listen to an album and say, I need to listen to this a couple times to like just grasp everything that's in there, you know. And each song is so packed. It's like so quality, you know, quality over quantity type of thing. And I understand why you have 8 out of 9 songs. So far, I'm 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 4, whatever. You know, whatever. So far, I'm saved so far. You know, like, I'm keeping all those already.
That's good.
Man. I'm just really excited about this. Like, I just,
that was 5 tracks.
5 out of 5. 5 out of 5.
No, I know that literally, you know, as you go through it, You know, I don't even know if you can see that, but a lot of stars all throughout. You know, I have like just the whole album is definitely like a favorite, you know, altogether. It's hard to just say like this song or that song because yeah, they're just all like phenomenal, you know, especially even for their own, which is cool. They have their own like sound unique to that, you know, they do slow down, soft, you know, very intricate, whether it's like, you know, like that other part where it had like nature, you know, sound, harmonica, and like a nice like smooth acoustic guitar. You can be camping and you're just playing, right? Or, you know, like that heavy like growly tone from like a country lick with the Telecaster, and that just everything, you know, it's really phenomenal. I think this is definitely a fun band to listen to. Like it's just upbeat, you know, their music, yeah, it's just a total blast for sure. All right, so this is the next track. This is the 6th track. I'm curious to hear this one again. I listened to the whole album once, picked my songs, pulled them, and then this is the only one that I initially left out, and I haven't went back to it.
Okay.
So I'm actually curious to hear it again. I don't think it was a bad song. I didn't hear like a song that I knew was like definitely bad, but maybe like one that just wasn't my favorite. So I'd be curious to hear it and see if I might add it back again.
This is the 1 out of 9.
This is the 1 out of 9. Every other song, I have a heart on, you know.
That's cool to know. That's cool to know because, like, again, I want to know why, I want to know the difference, but also, too, it's like, you know, when I think about it, sometimes you get a little bit of, like, good album bias.
Yeah.
We rarely get a good album that's, like, so many songs in a row.
Right.
Where you're kind of used to, like, we can't leave that one out.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you put this song up versus some others,
yeah,
it probably stacks up pretty high. But I'm very curious to hear it.
Yeah, likewise. I you know, I don't actually remember, you know, why I left it out, or yeah, I'm gonna have to hear it again for sure because this one I haven't heard as much as the other one, so this will be a fun kind of re-listen for me as well. And this track is called Davy Crochet. That's kind of fun, actually.
Call down the stairs of your mother's house. She's sitting on the couch. What's she going on about? I don't even care if you were making out. I guess you worked it out. Worked it out. Yeah.
You know, it feels very youthful, I think, to me. It feels very, like, again, teen angsty, like, mom will give me the keys to the van to drive the friends to the mall or something.
And then it started to snow. I didn't think about it when I gave you my card. I didn't think about it when I wrote you that note. I guess there's some things that you should know.
Oh yeah. No, that was crazy.
I'll tell you anyway.
Yeah. Fun vocal runs. Very like silly lyrics. Very unserious.
It's a very fun track, though. I will say that much. It's very kind of like jumpy.
Are knitting their own jerseys.
Ooh, I like that.
Though they've both been round the world, that's nothing to going round the chest.
I'm really curious to see what that little part was, because it probably means something.
Yeah.
It's like some little like part from the news or something.
Oh. When I gave you my code, I didn't think about it when I wrote you that note. I guess there's some things that you shouldn't know, but I'll tell you anyway, and you can tell me about it if you had a bad day.
That's really cool. It's really fun. It's very attitude. It feels like the American Rejects mixed with like gym class heroes or something. Yeah, that was a fun song.
I think I may have missed it because there's no way I like heard that and like just missed it because I either had to have missed it or something because it was it was a fun song. It wasn't like as the other ones are like definitely I think a little bit more serious, as far as like the narrative and everything. This one was just fun, like the lyrics were super unserious, like just everything it was talking about, but just fun, like upbeat track. So I definitely added it. Just I'd probably still agree maybe that it would be my least favorite throughout the whole track, but not a bad song and definitely one I'm adding because that's it's a great song that I would listen to throughout the whole album. I go through it. That would be one that I'd be happy to listen to for fun.
Yeah, it feels like a kind of like a Dumb and Dumber soundtrack. Or something. Not in a bad way, but it's like a fun, whimsical, like kind of like and really what I'm kind of getting to is like that teen angsty kind of feel. Yeah. Because it's like there's some good sounds in the drums, the pacing of the drums. Yeah. Feels like a lot of songs that I've heard in the past. Yeah. And then the guitar kind of like going in sync with his voice. Right. And kind of like even the way he's doing kind of like a inflection where he runs it up. And it's kind of like a rap pattern. It's kind of cool. Like it's you're following along. You're kind of like oh you're expecting it. You're kind of going with it. Right. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and it definitely keeps your attention throughout. Mm-hmm. I like the
audio clip.
Yeah, putting the audio clip there because like I would put that too of like some B-roll, something that really means something, or maybe it's like maybe that just reminds him of something, or and like I think it feels very like meme type, fun stuff, and like it's like what a good way of like having a song that maybe not be as dramatic or emotional as the other ones, but still have a high note, high point of fun, and still really convey that emotion. It's like, again, it feels very like, it could be very like a soundtrack to like a really fun movie.
Yeah. As soon as you brought that up in the middle of the song, I was looking for it, and I couldn't find anything that says they sampled it. So I believe that they actually just made that vocal recording themselves. That little audio clip thrown in there. I can't find any.
That's cool.
Sample. So we'll probably double check, later on. But as of now, I think that was just them.
But that little part, and we'll kind of get back to what that is. But that little drum part that goes.
Yeah.
That build up is like again very familiar. Like I feel like that could be a Beatles song. That could be like so many different bands that I've heard like do that little kind of build up to like the end of the song or whatever. Again, it's familiar, it's unique, it's cool, but it's a really good kind of like ear candy sound. Really really awesome. I mean, even for it being your skip song, it's fun. I understand it. 1 through 5, it's just been a high point, and I can definitely see how this has been like maybe a 70% out of 100, right? But it's still really good. It's still batting above average, but. Compared to the other 5, I can see why you'd be like, okay, I'm not gonna take this one. Yeah. I think this is the one where it's like, I'll go back to it, I'll listen to it for fun. But I might be in the same camp though. I'm in the same camp as like leave it off so far. Just based off the first 5, so.
But overall, I mean, I really just love this album, love this band altogether. They're just really really good.
Yeah, and one album I've heard 30 different genres. Just kind of a blueprint of like you can do whatever you want.
This is like another highlight that I just really enjoyed, like the rhythm of the song, and kind of looked at the chords. But another fun song. This is like probably another like, it's hard to say favorite. Throughout this whole album, I could just say favorite, like you said, 1 through 5. But this is definitely another highlight song as far as the rhythm. I really enjoyed it. So this is the 7th track, and this is called Maple Syrup.
Everything's really punchy.
I still have your picture on the wall. I still have the nightmares where I would have to call you to calm down. about you all the time.
I like that bass
When I
line.
step out of the shower, I'm reminded of the night when we slept in the back of your car. And you left me with
And that feels kind of like a Stratocaster or something like that too.
Like alternate picking. Really like soft. Nice little slide.
Did it hurt when I kicked you to the curb?
And then that man of the picking again.
I guess I'll never learn.
Just the dynamics of this song are incredible. And then that bass line.
I like the load back and just bass and drums or whatever the little kick is.
Yeah.
Your purple sweater sitting in my room. I tried to wear it, but I knew that it would smell like you.
That like little faint guitar playing.
This song is like the example of
Dramatic.
a subtle flex because they're doing something so simple, but it sounds really good.
I stood in the back, and I think that we both know Did it hurt when I kicked you to the curb?
They really just don't like repeating anything. They just like new stuff all the time. I love it though. That's so cool.
Guess I'll never learn. And I lied when I took you.
That tremolo picking is just awesome.
That gives me that like
Mandolin and then sliding with it. It just adds that much more. Yeah, it just like breaks away from it.
This outro part is so nice. Yep. Man, so I think I can put some words to it now. Finally,
Yeah.
I think I figured out the formula.
Okay.
My idea is that instead of repeating great sounds and maybe adding to it slightly, like most bands, most groups, most songs, you know, most producers are like, okay, this is a really good bridge, this is a really good, whatever, right? I'm gonna repeat it, go back again. I think what they do is they do it very slightly. They'll repeat it maybe once or twice, just enough to be like, oh, I love this, and it changes to the next thing. But then the next thing, you appreciate it, you love it, you like it. It's like, oh, great, I love this. So you're just continuously just being exposed to new different sounds to the song. To where like there's no like, again, there's familiarity. You've heard of these types of sounds, right? I can see the inspiration. But at no point do I feel like, okay, it's going to come back again because it's already on a new song. It's on a new sound. It's already like on a new, and I think that's the magic of this is that, you know, nothing sounds the same. And it's like, again, I can't really recall the most, you know, I can't recall the last 6 songs in a row because it's so much different things that like, I can't really pinpoint it. But I think that's the goal here is that like, you're just so exposed to so many different sounds. That it tickles each part of your brain, each part of your, you know, what your heart's kind of listening to, like, you know, the vocals going so, you know, gritty and
Yeah.
screaming, and then going to so calm and soft. It's like, you know, what a up and down, and again, it's such this is really an eclectic kind of like
Yeah.
arrangement of a song. And
Absolutely.
what a masterpiece. You know? that's a great song right there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, even the lyrics, like how he just like, yeah, and you lied, you know, like all, like everything, like what a lyric too, you
Yeah.
know, to land on and just like really like scream, like you said, but not it be distorted. It's clear. It's not like overly loud. And then yeah, just like again, like similar little guitar sound that you hear, like again the same mandolin picking,
Yeah.
just really like helping, just adding the dynamics as far as like the building, the bass line, you know, it's super rhythmic and like just a really groovy song altogether. But yeah, super fun for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like again, like it's hard to rank these songs so far because
Yeah.
each one is so unique. It's so fun.
Right.
Obviously, I know what my highlights are, but like I could go back to this song too again and hear 3 different things. You know.
Yeah.
Oh man, just absolutely floored. You know, and I see why. Like, you know, after 3 tracks, you know, so consistent, so awesome. It's like I'm liking this band. I'm listening to this album again.
Yeah.
But like 6 songs in, like
Yeah.
such quality, such, you know, variation is like, you know, what a what a treat. You know,
Yeah.
it feels like, you know, there's no main course here. It's all dessert. You know? That's what it feels like. It's 6
Yeah.
songs of dessert. You know.
Yeah.
Because for me, that I like to listen to such songs that like really, you know, push the boundary and like have something new that's again so familiar but so unique, is like, it's pretty cool to listen to. So
Yeah.
definitely, you know, it's gonna be in heavy rotation. Right? So far, 6
Yeah.
songs in, you know, or whatever,
Yeah.
how many so many in. It's like,
Yeah.
this is definitely gonna be played a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I know, even like just stacking up like you said, the difference in sound, like the contrast compared to like the rhythmic intro. And I even like, you know, the fun, like that, like you said, it's not clean, so that they, you know, have those kind of little scratchy
Yeah.
muted spots, you know, in between the, and then just paralleling that to just that soft, like little,
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like builds like kind of suspense.
And when you're doing that reminded me of like Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
What I loved about Explosion in the Sky, or like those types of like dramatic, moody, like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what you even consider that type of sound, but like just laid back and like, I don't know, it's like it's so emotional.
Yeah.
Because it's such a spectrum. It goes from like such a up to down and like so cool.
Yeah, for sure. No, I know. It's just, it's fun being able to just, you know, kind of, you know, I've only learned a little bit, just having a little bit of time to like sit with these guys, but yeah, just fun, just to like kind of put it to an instrument, you know, from what I can kind of understand from these guys, and piece that apart, and then yeah, just seeing the differences, you know, in between, you know, and it's just fun, awesome ideas that these guys are just really out there, just like, yeah, making really cool, like they just like the sound and they're just putting it in. You know?
Yeah,
It doesn't have to
there's
be
no
like
reason,
a traditional.
there's no like format they're following, and
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty here, is that like ultimately, like for one album there's so many different sounds, so like, you know, you can group up 3 songs and call that an EP, and it's like a whole that's a solid genre of sound. That's a solid, and to kind of just live in each world is so cool, because again, we kind of keep ourselves in these like, oh no, I do this type of rock, I do this type of sound, I do this is my goal for this album,
Right.
and it feels like, you know, not in a bad way, but it feels like they did each of these songs uniquely, separately, just jam sessions.
Yeah.
They came out to be good songs that they put together on a compilation.
Yeah.
You know, it's cohesive in the sense of like overall the bigger picture, but like, you know, each song is so exploratory. It's like, you know, creativity on 1,000. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm floored so far.
For sure. All right, we have 2 more tracks. This is track 8, and this is called Olivia.
I even like the intro of the,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the real life recording.
I like the playing with the volume, making it quieter.
She'll have California blonde hair and California start. She's not from around here, but the goodbyes break her heart. She grew up in a sleepy little town, but the parents split up and the marriage went south. And now the kids are mean, but the streets are clean, so they don't say a word.
Lyrically, it's a solid song too.
Leaves for college in about a month. She's got bags to pack and numbers to crunch. She's got a boy with long brown hair, and she seems to be the only thing he cares about.
The harmonics.
Yeah, that guitar comes in so nice.
Do
Or bass, whatever that is. I think bass.
for his backpack full of songs, take him with you.
I think the storytelling on this is really cool. This is probably the most cohesive song so far in itself.
Her guitar tone again comes back.
And so far, listening to the lyrics and actually listening to the song, it feels like a sad, depressive version of Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
Yeah.
You know, in the same storytelling way.
Yeah.
What he do for his backpack full of songs, to take him with you.
I think it's probably, for me, the most laid back, chill, one singular idea song so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, and overall, I mean, like, compared to the rest of the songs, like,
Yeah.
keeping it on one kind of track, like, you know, it makes you feel emotional. It makes you
Yeah.
feel like almost sad, depressed at it, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe that's the idea there, is like there's some story behind it, but, you know, definitely when they keep it to one type of like
Yeah.
sound,
Yeah.
it's like you're so stuck in it, you're so used to it changing,
Right.
you're just drawn to it the whole time.
Yeah.
You just feel like they pull you in and they just keep you the whole time,
Yeah.
you know? And you're just kind of hearing by the ding, ding, you know?
Yeah.
But man, what a great way of layering that bass at that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, towards that part of that song where it just kind of just really comes in, like, you know, just washes over everything, and like, I don't know, it's a cool feeling, and
Yeah.
definitely the most chill, laid back,
Yeah.
you know, sound of them,
Right.
but very appreciated, you know, very
Yeah.
like just, you know, I would actually, again, I don't know what the last song sounds like, but I would actually put that as the last song.
Yeah.
Personally, me, I would put that as like the,
Close.
you know, and let it kind of like off into the sunset and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. No, I know. It's definitely, yeah, like you said, keeping it to one tempo made it like that much more impactful, especially like lyrically. Just the narrative, you know, is kind of describing, yeah, just everything all together. Yeah, melted to one song. You know, it's definitely one that I enjoyed. But yeah, definitely more emotional. Especially like, yeah, just all like the little choices, you know, pulled in. Obviously, they didn't use, you know, the electric as much. They did in like small parts. Again, that kind of like distant sound.
Yeah.
For like more scenic, ambient kind of use case. But yeah, holding on to that acoustic, you know, to give it a different feel for sure.
Yeah, really, really cool. Again, really intimate sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's the first song that I felt like it was one whole, just one concept. one item, one thing they're doing there.
Right.
And pretty cool. It's because like again, I'm so used to so many things changing that it draws me the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, and what a good way of like keeping my attention to it. You know, honestly, like, truly.
In both senses. Yeah.
Yeah. So cool song. Really cool song.
Yeah.
It kind of made me kind of like like not sad, but just kind of like just just somber. In a way, it's a somber feeling. Like not like I'm depressed or something.
Right.
But just like you
like you're growing, things are changing. And it's I think that's kind of cool that they were able to achieve that feeling, because like you said, I think in the grand scheme of like the overall theme, it does feel like coming of age, young teenage, like all these different relationships, things working out, things not, and then like, now you're kind of like changing, you're growing up or something, along those lines. So, I think it's cool to for a whole album to be cohesive enough to like keep you moving along,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Alrighty, last track. This is track 9, and this is called Sinking Ship.
This reminds me of a really distinct song. I'll put it in.
It's very like drawn out, slows down.
Driving in silence, a trip around the world. Our hands haven't touched in more than a month. In my head,
vocals are like right there for sure.
wanting me
Super like up
Will
close.
this be the night that I make things right? Or make things wrong?
Kind of like a interesting
Make things
like chord
wrong.
progression. Like the overall feeling, I can't really like land whether it's like sad or like, I don't know. It's just very interesting.
Yeah, very unknown.
Make things
And I kind of like how it doesn't sound so perfect. It sounds like I kind of missed that one.
Yeah.
And like, I like that they kept that in. It feels very real.
Yeah.
Your eyes used to wander, but now they sit in place. I'm sick
Now it's more
of all of
clear.
nothing on your face. Did I put the
There
fire
you go.
out? Did I
Yeah.
walk away? Did I burn up all the oxygen and throw
It feels kind of like
away?
it feels like the
I like how the
of Mice and Men or whatever they're called.
I like the guitar accenting the bass. On the offbeats, it's like right there. That's kind of cool, because typically it's opposite in music where the bass is accenting the music, but
To be bound to your chain. Seems that every time the weather's on our side, I turn it right back into rain. Don't hold back, don't wait for the night to end. It was me.
Mumford and Sons. That's what I was talking about. Mumford and Sons. just like yeah, like out of nowhere.
yeah,
You're not expecting it,
yeah.
They're messing with like the music notes.
Yeah.
I can tell because it's like your ears trained to hear like certain types of patterns, and they're just like
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh
Just the
man.
dynamic
The layering of that guitar is so nice.
with the use of like volume.
Try to substitute my dreams with you, and you brought me down.
Something so subdued with like a screaming voice so low is so nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. reminds me of like Kings of Leon at the best part.
Oh yeah, the drawn out. Man, that little break was cool.
I still like every end of this song because it's just such a high point.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That song was 5 minutes, but it could have been 50 minutes. It could have been 15 minutes. It could have been 30, and I would listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
I see why that's the last song because it really puts an exclamation point on the whole album.
Yeah.
Oh man, but in the beginning I was trying to figure like what does that sound like? What is that little like? To me it felt like Mumford and Sons. That's what I kept going to.
Yes.
That kind of like fun like stomp clap play type of music.
Yeah.
They did a little bit of that and then it built up.
Yeah.
That little kind of not so great quality sound vocal they do.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that little port in there. It's like they're just sprinkling and like again this feels like a real life like I just heard that live, and I heard them, doing that take and going through that and like I don't know, it felt so immersive for such a good, clean sounding, overall great. There's 1,000 great sounds in that album, but even in that song, the ending song is like it's going through 3 different sounds that I know and like. Yeah. Flowing through them and then the slow down is like. Yeah. Oh man.
I know. I thought, man, there's just like you said, so many sounds and like just so many like dynamic qualities. I'm taking like a fundamentals in music at the college, and they're just like checking like you would pull one thing right from for composing a song. They're doing like everything between the shift in volume, in the middle where it had those little breaks. You're like ready for the guitar to keep on going because it's got a rhythm and then it stops and then it goes again. Like the groove that they built between that, even the intro, how it was kind of slow, and then the chords chosen. Like I said, I couldn't really land where I was supposed to feel. I'm just kind of following. And then it got even slower, which is pretty interesting to like start off slow at the beginning of your song and go even slower and then, get into it and make it like really defined. So it just, it is a good send off. And I think to like some caliber that it didn't leave like on a somber note, it left you like, you're thinking, what is the last sound you hear of them? That's, always the question for an album. And I think that was a great choice and just phenomenal song.
All I can think about now, earlier I was trying to like describe what does this feel like? It feel like these guys are they're gonna make a song, but they had a cheat code and they had all the cheats on. They were like, guitar up to 1,000, vocals up to 1,000, drums at 1,000, bass at 1,000. And it just feels like that because like what they've done, what they've accomplished in one song, one track, one album, it's like
and
it's
so not long, 5 minutes, 5 minutes,
5 minutes, and it feels like what it felt like, especially that last song. It felt like when you get the star in Mario Kart, and you're just like dun, 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 dun. You're just bouncing off everything. Nothing really matters. You're just perfect. That's great, awesome. And they. You're so drawn in. You're so, far away. You're so distinct. There's so many just great sounds here that like, again, I'm gonna probably go through this over the next course of the year at different times. Appreciating different points. Just to really just listen to this back. Like, yeah, what a journey. All I can say is what a journey. What a deep dive into like a new band that I'm really gonna listen to see what else do they.
Yeah.
What else? What other songs do they have?
This is their first album. Yeah.
Yeah, really talented.
Are you ready for the year reveal? This came out in 2019.
I saw that. Yeah. I did peek at that. I accidentally peeked at that when I was looking at it.
Yeah.
That's one that I realized it was kind of like more recent.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my thesis of like, okay, somebody that's making music in 2019, they're maybe they're inspired by EDM, maybe they're inspired by heavy metal, maybe they're inspired by punk rock, maybe all these different things, and it feels like they just sprinkled in little portions of each of their inspirations, and made something new that's like, you can't replicate that. That was and it felt very like one take. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't, but it felt very one take. Yeah. And I like that they kept in all those little aspects. When they're joking about the song, it's something so stupid. It reminds me of like up there when Eminem saying like, "Where's my snare?" Like those little things that are like although it's such a thing that probably should have got cut off. Right. The fact that it's in there, it's so dumb, it's so good, it's so necessary, to where it's such a legendary like little and the foresight to put all this stuff in there is like they just I might save all 9 out of the songs. Like to me that's a band that I'm like. I'm gonna do a lot of research into myself personally because we gotta. I think just into the album, it's like I'm floored. Mm-hmm. I think in real life, I think it's gonna be one of those that's like, if you ever saw them live, they're gonna be even like times 7.
Yeah. I know they definitely be worth seeing live for sure, and just super unconventional. Like the last thing I'd point out from that last song that I thought was like kind of crazy. I don't think I've actually heard. On another song was how obviously going through the journey of all the different sounds. At the point when the bass line was most prevalent, it was the guitar that was accenting the bass line. So it was like opposite compared to typically the bass line accompanies the guitar, accompanies the drums. Often the off beats you have the guitar. So just tons of like just creativity that they really poured into it. It's super evident throughout. The whole track, but I think they're a phenomenal indie band. Surprised me, like just barely coming around to like finding these guys out. But like I said, they're not necessarily hidden. They're not. They have a decent following. I'd probably say like similar to Roar now. Where they've had a bit of a boost, but. I definitely think just underrated, in comparison to
very underrated.
Even what we hear,
quality
today.
Wise, very
quality,
wise.
And just the instrumentals
and what I'm always curious, I'm gonna ask you is, how did you find this band? What was your first introduction?
So, I started listening to, I think it came up on, so I was listening to, it came up as referred to new music. Through Apple, but during the time, when it kind of prompted it to me, I was listening to a lot of Flip Turn, which I came off of. We covered a blind listen going back between like guitar songs, and I brought up Mercury, barely known, only a handful literally of people, and from them they covered a Flip Turn song. And just the rabbit hole, and it's kept on going. And I've, continued to find a lot more just amazing artists through this kind of continuous rabbit hole of just different sounds. But I can definitely see, if you listen to Flip Turn, they have a lot of like unique sounds. I think I can kind of attribute to, I understand, why Apple referred the Backseat Lovers off of that. But it was off of Flip Turn.
That's pretty cool because, like, again, like you randomly go down this rabbit hole, or we call it rabbit hole, but it's like you listen to like, oh, you should also hear this, or like, you're in a shuffle in a playlist that. Again, I was actually thinking about this concept the other day. And I feel like there's more to this, but like, how often am I listening to new music versus to music that I like? I'm very much probably, kind of embarrassed to say, but as much as I love music and I love listening to new music,
Yeah.
I'm probably like 70-30. 70, I'm just hitting my own shuffle,
Yeah.
going back to the same songs that I love,
Yeah.
and 30% like experiencing new, or
Yeah.
like, I think it's because like I listen to so much new music that I'm just like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
To where I'm like, again, it's like a comfort thing. I go back to my own music, my own vault,
Yeah.
and like there's so much there that I can get lost.
I know.
But again, a band like this is like, I probably wouldn't naturally discovered them,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that like you know the aspects that I would like out of them,
Yeah.
and it's such a cool discovery for me. It's like, it reminds me of like, you really gotta just listen to new music too. Like, even though you want to listen to the same great songs that you love, like experiencing new ones is how you get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just eye opening to like, there's probably 10 other bands that you have that I would love to listen to, and
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's a discovery of this process, is like, listening to what sounds good, and like ultimately like, just sharing that like to other people too. Like, this band should really get that limelight.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Roar or those other not so well known bands that
Right.
make such quality music that
Yeah.
really should be just, forefront rather than all the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I like that story too. That's like just a random,
Yeah.
and it feels such a like, it feels like, I was thinking about this the other day, seeing all the, grass and weeds grow.
Yeah.
Looking down at the floor, like, I wonder if I could point out a 4-leaf clover. Like, if I look long enough, I'd probably find one, right?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of idea that I have of music, is like, by accident, you might follow into a new playlist that gets you to this new band,
Yeah.
a cover
Yeah.
that leads you to a band that you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I know. This was like, I tripped and just stumbled on gold for sure. Like,
but it happens for a reason. I think
Yeah.
the music, it finds the people that it needs to listen to.
yeah.
In a weird kind of like, metaphysical way, but
Yeah.
I think the people that need to listen to this album hear it,
Yeah.
in a weird way, and we needed to hear that.
Yeah. It definitely makes its way for sure, and that's the cool thing with it for sure. So yeah, we can definitely for sure go into future albums by them, and I'm definitely excited to see where they continue, because there's continuing to make music. So how they develop over time for sure would be great to hear. But yeah, I think if anybody who's watching has time, they're definitely worth your attention. Like, I think there's just, like you said, there's so many different sounds with them that that there's bound to be something that you like, from it, even if that's not necessarily like your taste in genre. I definitely think they're worth the time for sure.
Yeah, they're underrated.
Yeah.
Really quality band that, most people are gonna like just at least one song there. So definitely a cool 10 out of 10. Like, and I'll even say like what I was expecting to hear versus what I actually heard.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I expected maybe like, out of 100, maybe I expected like a 40 or 50. Like, okay, I'm gonna be excited. I'm at 110 on excitement level, because it's such a cool new band.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
No, I know, and I'm like, I hear it again, and I'm like almost just as excited. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been like already some time that I've had to sit with it, and I've had it, on repeat, just even one track at a time. And I've had like a ton of fun, like playing it over with the electric. I have like a headphone amp that lets me hear the audio directly and then play my guitar right over it, and it's just like a total blast. But yeah.
That's awesome. Backseat Lovers.
Yep.
That was awesome. Alright. Yeah, that was legit. That was definitely.
I know. Like I said, as soon as I heard him, I was gonna send you a song, and I'm like, well, let me hear the next song. And then I'm like, I already like the whole album.